Hi, welcome to Exploring the Illusion of Free Will. My name is George Ortega. I'm here with my co-host Enel. Enel, good to see you again. This is show episode number 100. Yeah. All right. So the title of the show is episode 100, No Free Will, the New Cosmology. Let's talk about this show for a minute. All right. We started taping. The show began.
What is free will? Why is it important? You don't want to do that every time?
Let's do that, yeah, okay.
Free will is the ability to make choices 100% independent of one's genetics and conditioning. Totally illogical, incoherent, and impossible.
Right.
Why is it important?
Why is it important? All right. It's important because, like, our entire world, our entire legal system, our entire religion, our entire economic system, everything.
Our entire way of being, human beings, we have the fundamental reason or how we live our lives incorrect.
It's completely incorrect. We've got the fundamental fact of who we are completely incorrect.
Okay.
So how important? I mean, like, this is the biggest thing ever. This is like amazing. That's why we start out the show. Like
the free will illusionary bubble will burst very soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this show,
the fairy tale will be exposed.
Right, because on the last show was titled No Free Will and Praying to God, and we were kind of explaining to people, like, you don't have to see yourself as a puppet or as a robot or as an automaton. You can see yourself as manifesting God's will, as being a part of God, and that's going to resonate with people.
All right.
So now the theme of this show is like, okay, again, because we don't have a free will, because free will is a complete illusion, a complete mistake, that means that everything that happens is up to God. What I'm saying is up to God. When you pray to God, it's God praying to God, and then God decides whether God is going to give what God is praying to God for to give and all. So basically, this is an entire new way of viewing reality. Because for example, all right, we understand that nothing is up to us. We're human beings. Whatever we say, think, feel, do, absolutely nothing is up to us. Then the question becomes, all right, who is it up to? What is it up to? We can deal with this religiously. We can deal with this, kind of like physically and naturalistically. How do you want to deal with this, like, first? Because we just did a show about God. Let's talk about this kind of like from a scientific perspective. If nothing is up to us, that means that the Big Bang,
yes,
this Big Bang event, 13.7...
cataclysmic,
yes,
Big Bang.
And like, all right, the Big Bang, for people who are not completely familiar, it's like, there's like, what, thousands, hundreds of billions of galaxies, or at least billions of galaxies.
Trillions. Unbelievable, yeah.
And each with, like, billions and billions of stars that are humongous. And all that stuff at the Big Bang was compressed. I don't know how small it is.
And they're millions of light years apart from each other.
Yeah.
Meaning if you travel at the speed of light for a million years, yeah.
I know.
It's pretty far away.
But like the Big Bang event before, it was condensed in, my understanding, I don't understand
to
how
a tiny little origination point.
Tiny little thing. All the universe, all right? So it bursts forth, and like it's like, it's expanding, it's still expanding. All the planets and everything is moving out. That's everything, right? That's our universe.
Well, I never figured out what it expanded into.
I know. And that's going to be part of this. Yeah,
that's supposed to be nothingness.
Right.
Because there was something from nothing, but before nothing, what did it expand into? There was already something there. Anyway, who cares? We're trying to figure out this free will. I mean,
no, you're right. This is very important because,
no, it's not, because it doesn't help anybody understand why there's free will, how the universe started.
Oh, no, because, all right, we already know that nothing is up to us, right? So now we kind of, as far as we know, everything that's happening right now, everything you're saying, thinking, feeling, everything that anybody's doing, all the plants, it's not just about human beings. It's like, again, life is a big movie. So all this is...
Whoever's watching the show, look at the shirt you're wearing right now. What's the cause of that shirt? What's the cause of the chair you're in? Look at the model of your TV. What's the story behind that television? What's the cause of you buying it? What'd you have for dinner? What's the cause of that?
And let's explain causality, okay? Because causality is like what's happening. The entire universe, okay? Think of the entire universe at this precise moment in time, okay? It's completely based on the state of the universe at the prior moment, okay? And that state of the universe is completely determined on the prior state of the universe, and that state is completely determined by the prior state. And so you've got this state-by-state causal regression, cause and effect, going back moment by moment, and ultimately leads to the Big Bang, right? This huge event. But like as we're talking about, so
but not everybody believes in the Big Bang.
No, well, yeah, no, but that's the basic theory. I mean, like
no, the story of creation is a basic. I mean,
oh,
I don't know
well,
what's
no,
more popular.
we're going to deal with that, yeah, because right now
either way, man doesn't have a free will. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to start debating which way is the right way because I don't care.
Well, and because the idea is we're going to address them.
I mean,
both.
I don't like the evolution thing. Actually, I like the Big Bang, but I don't know if I like the fact that man came from chimpanzees. That doesn't matter. I'm only here discussing if we have free will.
Right.
But the answer is, of course, no. But to start assuming there's a Big Bang to our audience, they may tune you up. They may not like that.
Absolutely, and we're going to address both.
So whatever
views.
story of creation you believe in, free will is impossible.
Yeah.
And the point of the show is called No Free Will, not let's debate how the universe started, which he loves to do. But that's not what we're aiming for. Go ahead.
But all right, but this is the 100 shows.
But don't just assume something that people don't. All right.
All right. This is all right again.
So why don't you say if there was a Big Bang or story of creation or whatever? Okay. It's all the same.
All right, 'cause I didn't say it because the guy didn't make me say it. I mean, like, all right, but if, all right, he's making me now. He made you tell me to tell me.
Well, be more open-minded.
All right, so all right, theologically, God is everything. God created everything.
In whatever story you believe.
Right.
Right.
So like, all right, now we can do this, yeah, because like
in any
for example,
story, right.
For example, God created the Big Bang. God created that moment, but then you have
or Genesis or anything, doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay.
All right, but again, this is a whole new way of understanding our universe. In other words, like that it's not just that we don't have free will, it's that everything is predetermined, everything is evolving moment by moment in a causal fashion. But here's the thing, we might want to describe God as having created the Big Bang event, but then you've got to ask yourself, all right, what came before that, and what came before
Why can't you say God created the Big Bang event or the story of creation and whatever, just whatever story, it doesn't matter.
No, I know.
God was before everything.
I know, but what I'm leading at now is like there is a part of reality that transcends logic. In other words,
True.
What we're doing now has a cause, and there's a cause to that cause, a cause to that cause, right? But when you think about it, it's illogical to conclude that there was a first cause, because then you say to yourself, well, wait a minute, how could there be a first cause? There's got to be a cause to that cause.
The beginning of everything it doesn't make sense.
Right, and that's...
But who cares? We're talking about man having a free will in their lifespan.
Well, no, I know, but we've proven that. This is show 100.
All right, show 100. We can talk about whatever we want.
We're expanding, man.
So we're going to try to figure out what was before the beginning?
Well, we're going to think about it. We're going to because I'm sure some people in our audience probably just never thought about this. We think about this and stuff, but
it was either a first cause or it's been there forever. It's one or the other.
Right, but think about it. Either option doesn't make any sense at all.
Exactly.
So
that's how we explain how people still believe in free will. It doesn't make any sense at all. The same way the universe was created, a total mystery, is the same way that people believe in free will. Totally mysterious, and I can't understand it. That's why it's consistent.
Right, and then
the same craziness of how everything could start from nothing or something forever or some combination of both, infinite, finite, or both, I can't understand it. The same thing is I can't understand how anyone with any intelligence can actually believe in free will. That's how I connect it. It's the same mystery. That's how big a mystery it is. Yeah. If someone tells me they believe in free will, I just say it's just as mysterious as the beginning of the universe.
And you want to know something? All right, why are we doing this show? We're doing this show to create a better world. I mean, why else will we do it, right?
To feel good about ourselves. We adhere to the Hedonic imperative just like everybody else.
Right, to feel good about...
Feel like we're doing something worthwhile, purposeful, and meaningful.
Right.
Instead of doing our stupid little jobs every day, we have a higher calling.
Absolutely.
Makes me feel better.
But here's the thing, because this is the bottom line. In other words, we're doing this show to teach people there's no free will so they can enjoy their lives more, so they won't feel as much pain and all. But all right.
To be honest, it's for us to enjoy our lives more. Hopefully also other people.
Not for them. I mean,
no, but you wouldn't be doing this and I wouldn't be if we didn't enjoy it. We adhere to the Hedonic imperative. It'll give us great joy to see other people feeling better about their lives. But we're doing it because we like it, right?
All right. But here's the thing. The only thing, the only thing that I really object to in life is pain. think about it. Pain. There's pain in life. Because if there was no pain in life, we wouldn't have to do the show, because it wouldn't matter whether people believed in free will or not. It wouldn't matter. So then the question becomes like, why would God, the universe, the Big Bang, whatever you want to call it,
create pain?
That's insane.
It rhymes. Insane and pain.
Membrane.
You know that song?
Yeah.
How'd you know that song?
I used to listen to rap back in the 80s.
Insane in the Membrane? I think it was Tribe Called Quest. I'm not sure.
Oh, no, I think you're right, yeah.
Was it?
I'm not
I think
sure.
it was the 90s.
Okay.
This is proving once again there's no script.
But that's
Why
the
are
thing.
you objecting to pain? Without pain, you wouldn't be able to do anything.
Perfect. All right, here's the thing.
You wouldn't be motivated to do anything.
We were created by evolution, whatever, and it created us to feel pain, right? But think about it. Let's say we didn't feel pain, okay? That means let's say we didn't do anything. You know, let's say we just hung around, not feeling pain, feeling complete pleasure. That would.
But then we wouldn't adapt.
Adapt to what?
In the animal kingdom, animals that don't mutate, and it's really an arms race. I mean, if I'm trying to kill you and I kill your species with poison, eventually you're going to get a child of yours that the poison doesn't kill and stays alive, and then figures out a way to kill me, and then I come up with another thing. You have to have pain to adapt to get new survival.
All right, so you're saying we have to have pain to stay alive. But here's the thing.
You have to adapt through pain to stay alive.
But
yes.
here's the truth.
External circumstances are changing. It's like in the desert of the red clay. If you were green, you would be eaten. But if you have a kid that looks more red and can camouflage, it'll stay. But then if that starts to rain a lot and becomes green again, you'll want the kid that's green.
All right, but think
Do you
about
understand
this.
what I'm saying?
I understand.
So
But
if there was without pain, there would be no survival of the fittest in the wild.
right, but think about this. All right, as people, we're around 80 years, 100 if we're
Still
lucky.
have to adapt. Things are changing all the time.
No,
You have
what
to
I'm
adapt.
saying is like, all right, so like whether we adapt and live or don't adapt and die, we've got billions of years ahead of us.
But we have to adapt to get, so we can survive better. So without the pain, I don't see where the motivation would be to adapt.
Right, but
I mean, if you need to survive in this world, you need to be technologically advanced.
right.
So if you're not able to, you probably won't get a job. Your next generation, your kid, those genes that get passed on to learn how to use the internet computer are going to be very important. You do have to adapt. Elderly people don't really know how to use the
I know,
internet.
but
They didn't have to.
my point is like, the universe created us, and I believe, as I'm saying this, I believe in an afterlife. And the reason I believe in it, because I'm hardwired to seek pleasure, avoid pain. I have no idea what happens after we die, but it feels a lot better for me to believe that we all just like go
So
to this.
therefore, pain has. You said before, pain is insane, or whatever you said.
Yeah,
So if you didn't have pain, you wouldn't believe in the afterlife. You would be blissed out.
exactly.
So I'm telling you why there's pain.
But no, but like, I mean, like, for example, some people believe that like God is like, let's say God is all good, okay? Let's say you believe God is all good. Some people believe that.
I don't believe that.
All right.
Who told you that?
What's another
What's the
example?
cause for that?
No, here's a good example, okay? Some people say,
Wait, this premise that God is all good, where does that come from?
oh, that's in the Bible. That's actually St. Augustine in 380
Oh, yeah,
AD.
after he created it all looked good on the seventh day or whatever.
Yeah, and
It was all good.
That's why he coined the term free will. In other words, he couldn't blame God for what we did, so he had to blame us. But like, Isaiah says God
It's just
is
the
all good.
opposite. If there was free will, there would be no bad.
But here's the thing.
Everybody would just choose to act
Let's
like a
say you're
perfect
God.
angel always.
You are God, right?
Kind of, yeah.
But you are God, but you're just not the part of God that decides, right? Because we're all part of God. That's the thing. But if you were the part of God who decided, you could.
There's no decisions. There's just laws of nature going forward.
No, but all right.
Deterministically,
All right.
barreling through space and time.
So let's deal with evolution. If you were evolution, okay, if you were the evolutionary process, you could have like evolved plants into animals that all plants and animals feel completely blissful every moment of the time.
I don't see how that's possible. That goes against evolution. Because if you're blissed out all the time, you do not have the motivation to evolve and acquire new traits for better survival. So you're not eaten in the wild.
All right, here's another thing. Evolution could have created a world where animals don't eat each other.
eat each other?
Yeah.
They need energy to function. They need what they call ATP.
All right, so
you have to get energy.
They eat plants. Plants don't mind being eaten because they don't have brains. They don't have they don't feel stuff like that. So nobody's like eating each other. Like no animals eat each other, and everyone's blissed out. I mean, that's the thing. Like life could have been.
So you're asking me, why didn't God create a planet Earth where all humans and animals just eat plants?
Exactly.
And have enough plants for that to go on forever.
Exactly.
There would still have to be pain for other parts of your life for survival.
Why?
Getting a job, you need to have skills that you didn't have before.
You don't have to get a job.
That comes through pain.
Why would you have to get a job?
So you can earn money?
You don't need money because
energy is finite. You can't just have infinite energy for everybody.
Why not?
What would determine who gets the nice hotel, who stays at a nice hotel, and who stays in a flea bag?
It doesn't matter what
It does, because some rooms have nice views of the ocean and others don't. How are you going to determine who's looking at the parking lot at a homeless guy and who's at the Ritz staying in a beautiful... With you, everybody has infinite money. We'd all be crowding into the same beautiful...
You got to understand.
Oh, now you're going to say the beautiful spots are infinite.
Everyone would be completely blissed out. There'd be no pain at all anywhere.
No, but you're saying every view from every room would be equally beautiful.
Well, no, yeah, well...
It has to be, because then there would be a hierarchy of rooms.
Or a person would be completely blissed out regardless of whether...
All right, you can be blissed out looking at the garbage, and I'll be blissed out looking at the beach.
But that's the point. See, in other words, again...
So you're going to be okay with that? Why are some people going to get the bigger room with the nicer view at the nicer resort, and you're going to say you're blissed out in the flea bag in a dangerous ghetto where you could get killed? You're not going to be blissed out.
There's no dangerous ghettos. There's no killing. This is a world without killing.
Right, so every room has the same view. That would have to be true.
Okay.
Okay.
And we wouldn't even have to have rooms because the planet wouldn't get so cold that we'd need protection from the elements and all that stuff.
How does any of this prove man does or does not have a free will? People are watching. Oh, it's 100th episode.
No.
It's 100th episode. So we're not really talking about free will tonight. We're celebrating the 100th episode of this crappy show.
No. Basically, what I'm saying is the reason we're doing this show is because the belief in free will creates pain, right? Now, if we had a free will...
No. Let's get this clear. The belief in free will creates pleasure, more pleasure than pain to those who believe in it. That's why they believe in it. For me, I get more pleasure out of believing that free will's bullshit and a fairy tale and nonsense than I would believing something nonsensical and illusory and stupid.
All right, wait.
That's me. So
right.
The reason why everybody believes in free will, other than the select few, is that it gives them more pleasure.
All right, here's the thing.
They don't like feeling that they don't have free will.
They think it gives them more pleasure and pain, but if
I've asked them, they said they can't stand the idea. There will be puppets, robots. They don't like it.
No, I know, but that's because they haven't thought about it enough. I mean,
they
were
predetermined and fated not to get it.
Right, but
what don't you understand about that?
We're doing the show because we know better than them.
But you know other people prefer to believe in free will. Stop telling me that they don't think it's more pleasurable.
No, they do think
there's
it's more
a hedonic
pleasurable.
imperative at play.
There's a difference. In other words, they may think it's more pleasurable in their life, right? But we know that it's not.
But they need us to convert them.
No, I know, but that's going to.
What if they're not smart enough to get it?
It's because it's not them.
They're predetermined, and we're before our time.
Right.
If this were 2063, nobody would believe in free will. It's 2012. What are you going to do? We need the people to give us a career, the people who don't get it, to get converted to getting it. But unfortunately for us, the ones who don't get it, like you said in the car, will never get it.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have that magic window. We could, eventually, somebody doing the show in the future can get the people to be, warmed up to the idea and just about to get to the tipping point.
Let's go with this pain-pleasure thing again, because you think it's not connected to free will. I'll tell you exactly how it is.
I think it's totally nutty and crazy.
I'll tell you exactly how it is. If we had a free will, since we're hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, that means every moment of every day we'd be feeling and thinking blissed out thoughts, because that's what free will would give us. We would be... Think about that.
Wait, see, if I had a free will, I would have been listening to you. You're saying that if we had free will, we'd be blissed out.
Exactly.
Well, that's exactly why we don't have free will. That's the best argument I've heard, a simple argument. Instead of your crazy, unconscious, and we don't make decisions and all this nutty thing, we have free will because if we did, we would be blissed out.
Exactly. And that's why this pain thing is so important. Again, think about it. If we had a free will, who among us would feel unpleasant for any moment of time.
Just freely choose nice thoughts.
Yes, and that should tell everyone. That should
Let's
tell
just
everyone.
go with that.
All right.
Forever.
Well, yeah, but no.
And also, anybody watching the show, if you ever had a regret in your life, think for a moment. Name a regret. 5 seconds. Okay.
Who, me?
No, anybody.
Right.
Something you regret. You got it? Now, could you have done otherwise? Whatever you did that screwed up your life, could you have done otherwise? Oh, really? You could have, huh? Well, why didn't you?
Exactly.
You don't have a free will. You could have done otherwise. Okay. Well, why didn't you? If you could have done it, if you could have, you would have. You don't have a free will. You did the best you could at the time. You don't have to get into all these crazy arguments that you love to get into. The two-step Ortega refutation.
That's
if there was
brilliant.
free will, we would all be blissed out, and the non-regret theory.
But you're right. Some philosophers, and these guys are paid to do this, like full time.
That's why they have 5,000 pages of gibberish.
I don't understand.
Double talk and hypocrisy.
They'll say like, I have free will because I could have done otherwise.
Who says that?
Oh, a lot of them do.
Name one. Bring them in here. I want priests, rabbis, Quran guys, heads. I want anyone who believes in free will
debate, yeah.
to get in touch with us. We will pay you money to sit here with us and debate us.
If you think you have a free will,
come
yes,
on
the show.
How are they going to find you? Causal consciousness?
Come to the website,
Nobody's contacting us because
causalconsciousness.com.
everybody knows that anybody believes in free will will be suicide coming here because we're going to destroy you.
It's an open challenge. Anybody who thinks they have free will, we'll debate them, and we'll demonstrate to them.
We're not afraid of Deepak Chopra or any famous people or whoever is the head king of Catholic Church, the Pope.
And you know why we would win?
He speaks German, doesn't he? He's from Poland, I think.
I don't know.
Or is he from Germany? No, he's from the new one. The old one's from. Okay.
Yeah. You know why we would win any argument with anybody?
We want the head of churches, the head of pastors, the head ministers, rabbis.
The reason we would win is because, like, our decisions, our choices, what we feel, think, say, or do, are either caused or they're uncaused, caused or random. If they're caused, there's a causal regression, spanning to the Big Bang. And if they're random...
And the only answer they're going to tell me is it's multi-layered, multi-dimensional, too complicated, too complex, and a paradox. That's all they'll say. God gave me free will. I know it sounds, crazy and but that's what happened. That's all they'll say. Then they'll quote some verse. I found a verse in the New Testament that says that everything's predetermined. I'm going through the Old Testament, and right now I don't see any part of it that says God gave us free will. And God didn't write it anyway. People wrote it, and they're fallible.
Let's go through that.
And God gave us the ability to write better books, like the Newer Testament.
Right. For people who think that free will is in the Bible, it's not.
Well, I'm studying it right now, but even if it was...
St. Augustine, 380 AD.
And even if it were in the Bible, the Calvinists say...
Yeah. I want to get through this. St. Augustine, 380 AD. He's trying to grapple with goodness and evil and all. And he's saying to himself, well, God is all good. So, like, if God is all good, it's got to be our fault. So he writes a book called De Libero Arbitriro, which is Latin for on free will. Before that, there was no concept of free will.
It's not Latin from I'm full of bullshit?
Yeah, well, and the other thing, if you want to go into the Bible...
To me, it's Latin for I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you want to go into the Bible, St. Paul in the New Testament, he's talking Romans 7:15. He's telling the Romans, I don't know what's going on here. I want to do the right thing, but sometimes I can't. Paul is telling those Romans, I don't have a free will. So not only does the Bible...
Smart guy.
Yeah, but...
Predetermined. I mean, it's not as... You can't give him credit for being smart, but yeah.
I know. All right, so
I'll give you the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds all to yourself. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, God, no. All right.
I want to see you used to do it. Ready?
The new cosmology. This is a brand new world. And again, if I were God, if you were God, if we had free will, none of us would have any pain. Nobody would have pain. It'd be complete bliss. All right? So, in terms of our cosmology, I prefer to, think of God as all good because that makes me feel better. But God, he made a mistake. Okay, this pain stuff is a mistake. And there's a couple of ways that he could solve this, okay? This is interesting. I'm glad you're just letting me talk. It's one way is if the Jews, and I'm Jewish, I was born Jewish, if the Jewish belief in the Messiah, the Messianic era is correct, that means in this Messianic era, we're all going to be good automatically. We're never going to make mistakes. And if we're never making mistakes, that means mistakes and that's what causes pain. So that means we're all going to be blissed out. And there's another way. The other way how we can reach like bliss is like hopefully like when we die, because we're all going to die, we're here 80, 100 years, whatever, then like in the afterlife, that's all bliss. So like the idea is that like that, you know, pain is a mistake, and like so nothing's our fault. That's the beauty, that's the wonder, that's the goodness of understanding the free will is impossible. But for those of us who don't want to blame God, you know, you can still say to yourself, God is good, but God makes mistakes. I don't want to go the whole time. So what do you think of that so far?
I really don't like the stuff about God making a mistake.
Would you'd rather
God
have
doesn't
God
make mistakes. He's all-knowing.
But you'd rather have God be evil than God making mistakes? Because like I like to
said
be
God
good.
is neutral. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said God was evil.
Well, no.
Who said that?
Well, if God is not all good, then God has to be good and evil.
He's neutral.
He's neutral. How's that? What do you mean? Because God created everything. How could he be neutral?
God doesn't pick favorites, take personal sides. He's just neutral. He's like Switzerland. He doesn't take sides in anything. He set in motion laws of nature, hedonic imperative, fairness imperative, optimization imperative. I think there was one more. The moral imperative to do the right thing. He created it, and he's hands off.
But wait a minute. All right, if you're saying God created the universe...
He has good and evil. It balances out.
You're saying he has good. So you're saying if he has good and evil, he is good and evil.
No, he has good and evil relative to me. Whoever's fated to be evil... I mean, whoever, I think Hitler was evil, in my opinion, but if I was raised in Nazi Germany with German parents that believed in him, I would have been fated to think Hitler was good.
Are you saying that God is like a Dr.
I'm saying
Jekyll?
there's good and evil, but it's fated, that's all.
Right, but is it like...
Like Bernie Madoff was fated to be an evil monster, Sandersky too. And Sulzberger was fated to be a hero, to me. Osama bin Laden was fated to be evil to me, but some people in... Saudi Arabia is probably a hero and fated to be a hero. What don't you understand?
All right, I get. So you're saying that goodness and evil are subjective. I get that. All right.
And fated.
All right,
I'm saying there is good and evil towards relative to me. I think Osama bin Laden was very evil.
All right, so
he was fated to. He didn't have a free will.
Right. Basically, what you're saying is that God doesn't have a free will either, because if he had a free will, he would have made everything.
If he had free will,
good.
You would see an airplane going through and just suddenly leap over you. You'd say, "Oh, I don't want that to happen today."
I hear you.
Non-causality would happen. You would see people. There would be miracles everywhere. I mean,
all right. Again, final point for the 100th episode.
Seconds.
If you don't want to see yourself as a puppet or a robot or automaton, you are the will of God. We're all the
100
will of God.
episodes.
Thanks for
100.
watching.
Happy 100.